It's good to see so many people here on Winter Day. I think it's a little better this morning than it's going to be this evening, but we'll see how things go. I'd like to ask everyone to please turn off their cell phone or put it on vibrate, as the case might be. I think we changed the colors on some of those.
We did.
Well, this is not an attempt to hide our financial position. Somehow the colors changed on this new computer. But needless to say, we're basically on schedule for completing the conversion in the lab, and we do have a good working capital balance to continue. Frank, we're missing half the slides.
They're there.
Huh?
That's your introduction. Your first one. Go down there.
Okay.
Go down.
Go down.
Do it again.
One more. That one. Go ahead.
Right there.
Go to first. Up,
Back
up,
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 back
up,
up.
up. There.
There.
That's it.
That's it.
Again, we're not really trying to hide anything, but, okay, essentially, the maintenance program is complete. We have a lot of 8.1 computers in there now that you can use.
That's good. There you go.
That's better. We have machines with Windows 7 on the left side of the room, Windows 8.1 on the right side of the room. We also contributed the machines that we replaced to other charter clubs for their use, and we gave some equipment to CAM itself to upgrade their equipment that they provide to the charter clubs for lectures with use of the Toshiba projector. Well, that's a little brighter. Community matters. Next board meeting is important. January 29th is the annual meeting. We do have to have a quorum, so it behooves us to have people turn out. If you do not want to turn out, you can download a proxy form from the website. The next town hall meeting will be in March. Now, we got a number of instances, not a number, several, where people have tripped getting out of the desks in the computer room. No one has been hurt, fortunately, but we're concerned with this. So we moved the computers to the aisle side, which gives it a bigger blocking area to try to avoid this. We've also put signs up. When you're in the lab, please be very cognizant of this, be very careful, because we really don't want to have anyone getting hurt in the lab. 8.1 is download is still a problem. Again, we're working on that. We're not getting any real response that seems to work at this point, but we will keep you informed of that. This, I'd like to introduce Howie Gigo, and Howie will talk about the classes for the winter session. Howie will be here in a minute. He's in the back of the room. Howie is running.
High-tech stuff just really blows me away. I don't need no laser, right? Before we go into the classes we're gonna be offering this winter quarter, I have to make a couple of comments. First of all, how many of you are planning to leave for the southern hemisphere shortly? Well, you're the few that are left. Most everybody's gone already. And if you didn't get up by tomorrow, you probably won't make it at all, so, based on the weather forecast. It's been a little difficult getting, professors, teachers take time off too. And the winter quarter is the time when a lot of our teachers are gone. So we decided originally, maybe we shouldn't have any classes. And George said, no, we gotta have classes. Okay. So we're gonna have some classes anyway, all right? But anyway, it's a little bit different. And we'll go into them. I'll just give you a brief explanation of what each class is all about, if it needs it. And the dates will be published. I had a little trouble putting them together with the things that are changing. And they will be verified on the website shortly. Right, George? All right. How many of you know what Dropbox is? Okay, the rest of you can attend this thing, all right? Dropbox is a free utility. It's kind of like it's a cloud application, and you can keep your critical files that you never want to lose or get at from different places. You can keep your stuff using Dropbox. There's a myriad of applications of Dropbox, and it was well attended the last quarter when we had the fall classes. So we're offering 2 different sessions for it. So when you see the list, there'll be session 1, and then there'll be another date for session 2, because you can only accommodate so many people in the classroom, okay? And if we don't need the second one, then make sure you come to the first one. Oh, you got that, okay. Home networking basics. How many of you have some kind of network at home? Okay, the rest of you can come to this one. We're going to have a one-night session, class, lecture if you want, on explaining, the terminology for home networking gets to be a little bit different. If you're Comcast, if you're this, if you're wireless, if you got wireless printers and all kinds of other stuff, and you got tablets running around the house and that. So there's a lot of considerations with putting together a home network. It's not rocket scientist, but on the other hand, if you're not aware of it, you can't take advantage of some things when you go to build your home network. That's what this class will be all about. All right, in the past we've offered a class on Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel. This quarter, this session, winter session, we're going to be offering the classes using the Open Office from Libra, which is the Microsoft Word lookalike or the Excel lookalike, and we'll be using Libra. Why are we doing that? Because it's one of your favorite words. It's free. Okay, and it's free. You just download it and use it. And so we're going to be using the Libra versions of Writer and Calc, so you can become familiar with them. The functionality transfers to Word and Excel. So if you're planning on using Libra or have it in the past, but didn't want to spend the money to, maybe I might look at Excel or I might not, Libra's the way to get involved in it, okay? Take a quick look at it. And this class will get you started, okay? These classes, by the way, are 3 sessions each. You can't learn about a word processor in one night or one day. The same thing with Excel, okay? So they are 3 sessions long when you sign up for those classes. But you'll have quite a beginning working knowledge of those products, okay? Intro to the computer using 3.1. This is our basic introduction to computers class. It's going to run for 3 sessions. It's going to cover everything. We're assuming you know what a mouse is. How many of you know what a mouse is? Not many. Oh, maybe we've overshot our mark. Okay. Basically, beyond that, okay, it'll get you started, and we will be using, like George was mentioning, we will be using Windows 8.1 because we have it now, and almost everybody who's going to get a PC in the near future is probably going to be with 8 or 8.1. So we'll be using 8.1 as our instrument in teaching for that, okay? Okay, I have to push the forward button, right?
Down.
The down button. That.
Right.
The other down button?
Going down.
Oh, no. No, I gotta go back up one.
Don't count these if in the right order. Just read them.
There it is, File Manager. Okay, there we go. File Manager is a class we've offered some time before. It takes place on 2 different days. Basically, it covers the tools you need to manage the files on your PC. If you're going to be doing backup or organizing photographs or any kind of stuff, you need to know how you move stuff around, how you find stuff, how you can take care of stuff. Just keep your closet organized, so to speak. So that's a two session. cloud application, that's a new one, I think. Have we ever offered that one before? I don't think so. We've talked about it here at the monthly meeting. You know, the cloud application, or the concept of cloud, is been around for a year or two now, but a lot of people still don't understand what that really means. So if we're gonna have a one-class session, which is gonna give you some ideas of the power of what the cloud is, and chances are, most of you are probably already using one or more of the cloud apps that are available to most of us, okay? I mentioned before Dropbox, that's a cloud application. There's iCloud, there's all kinds of applications, and this session, this class will tend to give you a better, fuller understanding of what the cloud applications can do for you and your PC at home. It is a big platform of what's coming in the future, okay? WordPad tutorial. Okay, WordPad, you don't even have to download WordPad. WordPad is a functional, bare bones essential word processor. And it comes with Windows. You don't even have to download it, okay? So we're gonna have a class on that for WordPad, just so it has you wanna just type simple letters and that's what WordPad's all about, okay? So that's what we're gonna offer that one. Kindle, okay, here we go into some different things. This is the first time we're gonna offer one session, one night, one day, on the Kindle and Surface RT tablets. Tablets seem to be moving to the front of our concern. How many of you own tablets already? Okay, which one of you wants to teach this? What we're going to be doing is we've broken it apart in three basic categories. Can you all hear me? I keep wandering away from this thing. We're going to have one night that's going to focus on Kindle and the Surface RT, which is what, the Microsoft version. Okay, we'll be doing that. That way you get a feel for it, you'll see it. Now, with these next three, the Kindle, the iPad, and the Android, we're not sure where they're going to be yet, because we can't do it in the lab. We need some special gear so our tablets can talk to what's overhead. So we're still working out the details of that. So when you get interested in coming to that, pay attention to where it's being offered. Okay, it may be in the game room, it may be somewhere else. That's all I can say right now, all right? By the way, with the way the weather's going, shouldn't we have these sessions down south somewhere? Okay, so we're offering a session for the Kindle and the Surface. Kindle's really kind of an Android, but it's really different. Surface RT is very different. iPad Basics, I haven't snagged the person who's going to be doing the iPad. But I'm talking to Patty O'Toole. We'll be snagging somebody, and there won't be Patty. Well, see, Patty's going to do it. See, so we're all taking care of that. It's also for people, you know, if you're looking for a tablet and you don't know what to do, attend all three, and you're going to get immersed in all the different kind of flavors of tablets, and then you can make your own decisions. Okay? And again, I don't know where it's going to be offered, because we have to make sure we got a projector that can tie into the tablets we're going to be using. Okay. Down. No. Risk management tools. Okay. The last quarter, in the fall, we offered a thing called Cliff's Toolbox. What Cliff was presenting there was a collection of hammers and saws and pliers and Band-Aids that he had collected that he uses in the lab to maintain and take care of your PC. What we're doing here is we're going to focus a little bit more on stuff that you can manage, the malware, the viruses, and that. We're going to give you an overview of all the different tools that are available on managing. And why is it risk management? Because when you take care of those things against antiviruses and the Trojans and the spiders and all the other crawly things you can get on your PC, right? You are really managing or minimizing the risk on your PC. How many of you have ever gone down with a virus or a Trojan horse? You're all lying. Okay. I mean, you really need these tools to mitigate all those risks on your PC. That's what this class will be intended at. Now, the last one I've got here is making the transition from Windows 8 to 8.1. Now, how many are on 8 already? How many are on 8.1 already? You guys don't count. Okay. Well, over what George was talking about over the holidays, what we did is we took, those are all Windows 8, sorry sir. those are all Windows 8 machine on the side, and they took them right away to Windows 8.1. In getting them to 8.1, plus our other personal experiences, we've come across some interesting facts. So before the rest of you who have 8 or will be buying a machine with 8 on it, you may want to attend this to see what strange things can happen to you as you migrate from 8 to 8.1 and learn from, I won't call them our mistakes, our experience. How's that, okay? Because the date for that hasn't been determined because we just finished installing everything this last couple days. And I want to talk to all the people who were involved in that and put together a collection of what we learned, and then so we can present it to you sometime probably in February. We'll announce it on the website, okay? Or through an email, right? So that's it. I don't have anything else to say, George. Except, would you get a better thing here? I can't use this silly thing.
At this point, I'd like to introduce Ken, and Ken is going to talk as a featured speaker about protecting your computer from a myriad of things that can happen.
Good morning. Oh, boy, I didn't expect to see this many people here this morning. I expected to be very lightly attended because of the weather. Okay, protection. We have problems. There's always people trying to get into our computers and get into our information, so we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Let's see, which way am I going with this? No, backwards. Okay, one more. Okay, today, I have a computer with a webcam set up over here, and this whole meeting is being streamed live over the internet. So you didn't have to come here. If you knew that, you could have stayed home and you could have watched it sitting in front of your fireplace with your tablet. But if there is something that you want to, after this meeting is over, this will be saved out on the internet, and there's a link that I have in the presentation. You will be able to go to that link later on, and you'll be able to view this whole meeting again, anytime for the next month. I think they will only retain these files for a month. Maybe we can download them and save them to our website after that. But so you've got a month if you missed something here, you can go back and review it again. Actually, I did. Yeah, the link is right there, the www.ustream.tv/channel/ it's long, sun-city-huntley-computer-club. Don't try and do it now because you'll suck up bandwidth, and I'm streaming it out now, and I don't want to mess up the streaming out. So today is a test. And when you go to that link, this is what it will look like. Except you'll be able to see the video in the big black box. I had some test videos out there. I deleted them before this morning, but there will be at least one video, and we can put more of them out there in the future. One idea I had for this is that on the right, people who visit this, if you log in, if you make an account with them and you log in, you can make comments. This would be kind of cool. If we had somebody that was going to sit there and monitor that, we could have people sit at home and ask questions, and that person could have a microphone and they could ask the questions out here. So there's a lot of things we can do with this if we get people to help out. And also I did something where it got cut off on the bottom, but this will tie into Facebook. I put something on there and automatically posted it to my Facebook page. So people that see my Facebook page know that this is being streamed live. So, neat stuff. There's my Facebook. And it shows you today I'm streaming my computer protection presentation in the Sun City Huntley Computer Club live on the internet via Ustream TV. After the meeting will be available for demand for a month. And it's got our logo and everything there, so it's kind of cool. Okay. get into protection, things that we need to watch out for. And we all know about viruses. Viruses have been around forever. I have a pretty good virus collection, but just starting to update it again. Viruses usually are contagious. They travel from computer to computer. One person gets infected on their computer, and then that talks to other computers and infects other computers. And so it is self-propagating. Malware, it's malicious software, that tends to come in via an email. You have an email attachment, or maybe an email link that you click on, takes you to an infected website, and you can infect your computer. Now that usually doesn't spread to other computers, it just infects your computer. We have phishing things that, it's emails that you get that are masquerading as your bank. You get an email that says, this is your bank and we've changed our procedures, our security processes, and we need you to log on. Here's the link, you can log on, and you need to re-enter all of your important information, your social security number and everything. And your credit card information, your passwords, and re-enter all that stuff for us. Well, when you click on that link, it's not taking you to your bank, it's taking you to someplace in China or someplace, and you have to be careful of any of those. So if you get an email that says something about, this is your bank and we're changing things, don't click on any links in that. Go call your bank, go to the link that you normally use to connect to your bank and click on that, go to your bank, and then see if that really is true. Social engineering, that's obtaining confidential information by deception. A couple of the recent ones are people get a phone call, and the person on the other end says, this is the McHenry County Courthouse. There's been a warrant issued for your arrest because you failed to show up for your jury duty. And the person's very, I didn't know about it. And so they say, well, yeah, you sound like you're an honest person. Give me your social security number and I can take care of that for you. I can remove that. Well, oh yeah, okay. No, don't give out your social security number when you get solicited like that. Microsoft too. There's been cases where people have gotten a phone call. And this is I'm from Microsoft, and your computer has sent us a message saying that it's got some problems, and for $59 I can take care of that and fix your problems for you. Just give me your credit card number. No. When you get solicitations like that, never give out any sensitive information. Social security number, credit card. Don't even give out your birth date, nothing. Just you have to verify who you're talking to. And if it's a call to you out of the blue, just don't do it. If you initiated the call to somebody that you know you're talking to, it's probably okay. So these are some of the things that we need to watch out for. Now this is something that I've talked about, I think last month, is the CryptoLocker, and some call it a virus, although it's just more malware, but it's pretty bad malware. I'll just review it quickly again. It's ransomware. What happens is it comes in as an email attachment, or you visit an infected website, and it installs software on your computer, which then connects to some random servers and asks for a key. It gets the server generates two keys, there's a public and a private key. It sends the public key to your computer, and then the software starts encrypting all of your files, all your pictures, all your documents, all your music, everything that is your stuff on your computer. I don't think it hurts any of the Windows files. So when it's done, they're all encrypted, and it puts up a screen. I think I have a screenshot of it later that says the CryptoLocker virus, and pay us $300 in the next 72 hours, or we're going to destroy the other key that you need to unencrypt your files. And they say that if you don't pay up in that time, they'll destroy the key, so you will never be able to unencrypt your files. That's not entirely true. I found that you can, they just escalate the problem. I think it goes up to thousands of dollars then if you don't pay within 72 hours. You pay thousands of dollars and then you can get the other key. For businesses, they usually end up paying up because they need their data. Businesses usually have their files backed up though, and that's one of the important things for you to do. Back up your files. If you ever get hit with this CryptoLocker, if you get your files backed up off the computer someplace, not just in another folder, but on a separate device that's not connected. Because this CryptoLocker, it will encrypt anything it can see. If it can see a network drive, it will encrypt it. If you can see your backup drive, it will encrypt it. So when you back up your stuff, keep it off your computer someplace. Yeah, and law enforcement has been, striving to defeat this, and so when they find one of these servers, they'll shut it down. But that just guarantees that your files are gone, because if your files have been encrypted and they shut down the server that's got the key that you need to unencrypt it, you're dead. So, yeah, they're trying to be helpful, but not so helpful. And this is the screen that you see once the program is done encrypting all of your files. And once they're encrypted, they're useless to you. And it's a 2048-bit key. It's a very long key. It would take, I forget what I read, it would take 100 years or so to unencrypt it with current technology. So something, and again, these come in via email attachments. You always have to be careful, and I think I talked about, this is another one. You have to be careful with any attachments to emails that you receive, even if it's from a friend. There's a new one now, NeverQuest. And this one is interesting in that it captures logins, especially your banking logins. It gets on your computer and it will just sit there and look at web pages you visit, and when it sees something that thinks is a banking login, it records that, and eventually it'll send that off to its home. But the software also enables home to take over your computer. And usually in banking, banks have gotten smarter that you log in and it knows, okay, yeah, you're at home and we've talked to you before, but if all of a sudden somebody tried to log in to your bank as you from China, your bank will say, you've never logged in from China before. We don't think that you have to prove that that's you logging in from China. So that's a safeguard that they've built in. So this software has gotten clever in that it can take over your computer, and China can connect to your computer, which can then log into your bank. And your bank says, oh, yeah, you're logging in from home, so it's your secure area, so everything is good. And then they can access your accounts and transfer money and write checks, and do all kinds of things that you would not want them to do. They can also change your bank login password so you can't get in to fix anything, but they can empty your bank accounts. And the nastiest thing about this is this software is for sale and can be used by anyone. There's probably a lot of people in this room that would be capable of using that software. A lot of what they call script kiddies, it's like the high school kids and that can download and run scripts. They don't know a lot of technology, but they can run scripts. They can buy this software, they can run it, and they can be stealing money from people's accounts. It's called NeverQuest. It doesn't come up and say this is NeverQuest on the file that you would get in your attachment. You just, again, be very wary of any email attachments. There's a lot of things that I get that I don't even open. And I had gotten the CryptoLocker, I didn't even know it. Came in as the subject line was ADP payroll. And I thought, no, I don't have anything, I don't get paid from any ADP payroll. So I just deleted it. Now I wish I would have saved it, because then I would have had everything, the whole email and the virus. I have 3 different versions of the CryptoLocker virus. I do plan to infect one of my computers with it, just to see how it works. Just to know that after it's done encrypting, if I put other files on there, will it still work and encrypt those files? Just so that, and I'll just build a computer just for that purpose, and then I can just wipe it off afterwards. Now, what can you do? Keep your antivirus up to date. We get people come into the lab with their computers, and they've got Norton Antivirus 2004. And we said, well, haven't you ever updated? Well, it's still runs. Yeah, but it doesn't know about any viruses since 2004. So yeah, it can do scans every day and make sure that everything since, before 2004 is not on your computer, but any of this new stuff it'll never find. So keep your antivirus up to date. If you're paying for one, if you have Comcast or you have AT&T, Comcast, you can get Norton antivirus free from Norton. You log into your Comcast account and just do a search on security, I think, and you can find the Norton antivirus from them. If you have trouble, you can talk to us in the lab or call Comcast. They should be able to help you with that. If you have AT&T, you can get McAfee free. So you can put that on all your computers, and that will help. It's not 100% guaranteed, but it will help anyway. Update malware program definitions. Now in the lab, we use a program called Malwarebytes. Very effective. It's good at removing things that it has found. It's something that you, malwarebytes.org, I don't think I put it in there, is the website where you can download this. Update all software carefully. You'll get things that say, you update your Adobe Reader, and then when you go to update it, it's going to want to install Google Chrome, or it's going to want to install some kind of a security scan, or something. Read the screens whenever you're updating things. There may be a little checkbox that you have to uncheck so you don't get the McAfee security scan. Pay attention to all those screens. I have this slide, something on another slide. Be cautious about opening email attachments, even if it's from someone you know. Someone's computer can get infected, and somebody you know, and they send you an email, and, oh, well, that's from so-and-so, I know them, I can trust them. Not necessarily. They may not even know that email was sent. And you get it, you open it, and now they were infected, now you're infected. So you have to be very, very careful. Even email links, there are compromised websites out there that can infect your computer. How do you protect against that? You just have to use common sense. There's not much you can do if something's going to take you to a website that's infected. Again, keep all of your antivirus and everything up to date. And all of your software, your Adobe Reader, your Adobe Flash Player, Shockwave Flash, all those things that are used by your browser can be taken advantage of by a website. So visiting a website can open a PDF file, which if you have an old version of the Adobe Reader, it can be compromised and it can take over or install some malware on your computer. So try and keep everything up to date. Now here's something that I had gotten, and I don't remember what website I was visiting, but all of a sudden this popped up, and it was something that had some video on it. And it says, a Flash Player update is required to view this content. 100% free update, experience the web at its fullest, as recommended download even. Oh, yeah, well, I better do that. No. Oftentimes if your browser is set up to display, if there's a status bar, and usually it's like down in the bottom corner of your browser window. If you hover over a link, it's something that you can click on, and oftentimes this whole thing is a hot link. Anywhere you click on here, even if they had a red X up in the corner there, sometimes it's not really the real red X that you expect. It's just another part of this whole big image, and you click on that, and it's going to do the same thing as that. So again, you get something like this, get out of it anyway. Close your browser, shut down the computer, whatever you have to do, but get away from something like this. Now I'm not 100% certain that this was going to infect my computer with something, but it may just install something that I didn't want in the first place. This is not, and if you notice anywhere around here, it's a red thing here with an exclamation mark. Nowhere does it say that it's the Adobe Flash Player. It just says Flash Player. So, oops, so anywhere you click on here, you just even see details. It could do the same thing as install. What the words say don't necessarily tell you what it's going to do when you click on it. But like I say, anytime you're on a hot link, if you got the status turned on, it shows you down here where you're gonna go. And if it's not gonna take you to adobe.com and you think you should, don't click on it. It might be taking you someplace in Russia that's gonna install something else on your computer. You can check files with an online scan. If you get an attachment to an email and you'd like to check it to see if it's something that you can open or not safely, there is a website, virustotal.com. You can upload that file to this website and it will run that file through a couple of different security scans and let you know that this one found it as malware, this one found it, didn't find anything wrong with it, and so you get some idea if there's anything wrong with that the file. Another one is eset.com. ESET makes some antivirus software that's pretty good, but it works okay. It's designed for Internet Explorer. But for Firefox and Chrome, you need to run a small utility program before you can do the upload and the scan. How many people read license agreements when you're installing software? Well, here's a reason to read it. Man finds $1,000 prize in EULA. EULA is End User License Agreement. Doug Heckman was installing a PC Pit Stop program. He actually read the EULA. In it, he found a clause stating that he could get financial compensation if he emailed his PC Pit Stop. The result, a $1,000 check, and proof that people don't read EULAs. 3,000 people before him didn't notice it. The goal of this was to prove that one should read all EULAs so that one can see if an app is spyware, if it's buried in the EULA. I never read them. It's impossible to read all that stuff, and there's a lot of legalese and stuff in there. But I don't install a lot of weird, I visit a lot of questionable websites, no porn. But I do go to a lot of hacker sites and just kind of hang out in some of the shady corners of the internet. But this, this guy got a $1,000 check, which, like I said, it's, I guess 3,000 people, other people had installed that software, didn't read it, and they could have gotten $1,000, they didn't. This guy got lucky. When you're installing software, always try to go to the software's main site, like Adobe. If it's the Adobe Reader, go to adobe.com. Now, you have to know what the main site is. Doing a Google search doesn't always, or any kind of a Bing search or anything, doesn't always give you, the first one in the list isn't always adobe.com. It may be other sites, other download sites that are going to, you may get the program, but you may get it with a bunch of other software installing as well. Don't be tricked into going to something like adobe.downloadstuff.com or something, it says Adobe and it says .com. No. Where you're going is, the domain is downloadstuff.com and the server name is Adobe. Now they can have a bunch of different server names going to one server, so they can have all these different company names going to one server, and they can be serving up all kinds of software that is laden with malware or just adware, stuff that would be very annoying. Don't do the express install. That's the easy way around. You want to install something, oh yeah, express. It used to be that the express install just avoided things like, okay, where do you want to install the software, and do you want it on your desktop? Now, when you don't do the express install, you can see the options like they're going to step you through other software. Like, do you want to install this real player? And they don't always use the same words like yes or no, accept or decline. approve or deny, they use different wording. So, you have to read the things on the screen. And be careful not to install additional software. So, by doing the express install, you're agreeing to anything else that they want to install on your computer. You've agreed to it. It's all checked on by default, and it's going to happen. So, do the custom install. You'll see everyone along the way that's going to say, yeah, do you want to install Real Player? No. You want to install Google Chrome? No. You want to install this? No. But you'll have to read it to make sure you click on the right word. Passwords. My memory really sucks, Mildred, so I changed my password to incorrect. That way, when I log in with the wrong password, the computer will tell me your password is incorrect. Thank you, George, for that one. He sent that one to me. Yeah, this is not advisable. I mean, people do some really strange things with passwords. I know one person very well that uses the same password for everything. And that is the worst thing you can do, because if one website gets compromised, then they know the password. They can try that password for other websites that you go to, and they can successfully log into other things that you go to. Now, one of them may be relatively harmless, but another one may be online banking. If you use the same password, if they break into this one that's relatively harmless, they can get your password and they can try that. And they might try it on your banking site and discover that, hey, it works here. Not a good idea. So, now, passwords they're impossible to remember, good passwords. So, there's a security podcast that I listen to. They come up with a new one every week, and it's like an hour and a half long, so I try to keep up with it, but I can't always. But it's a very good podcast. It's called Security Now. And the guys that do that, they research a lot of this security stuff. And about 2 years ago, they recommended this LastPass. And I had talked about it here once before. And there's probably a lot of people that are afraid to use it. I've been using it for a couple of years now. Because your passwords are stored in the cloud. Sounds very dangerous. Your passwords are encrypted on your computer, then they're sent to be stored at LastPass. You have one very secure master password that you have to remember to get into LastPass. Once you do, LastPass is logged in, and then when you go to the websites that you normally visit, LastPass will remember your password and automatically plug it in for you. And you can set LastPass so that it'll time out after 10 minutes, or when you close your browser, it'll log out, so that if you get up and walk away, LastPass will log out, and then somebody else that sits on your computer can't get into all of your stuff. So LastPass, I think I have more. Yeah, I have more slides on this. You can use a local if you don't feel comfortable putting it out in the cloud. There's local password managers that you can put on a flash drive, or you can put it on your hard drive too. Then it's only stored locally. Now, if somebody hacks into your computer and they download that from you, well, then they've got all that too. But still, you have a master password that you have to remember to get into it. So it is somewhat secure. And I'll talk more about better security for LastPass. Don't put your password in your password hint. That's some of the things that I've seen in some of the sites that I go to. People, how when you create a password for someplace and it asks you, okay, create a password hint. Well, if your password hint is, my password is Chevy Malibu, so when you put in the incorrect password, it'll say, oh, here's your password hint, you got it wrong, here's your hint. My password is Chevy, oh, okay, Chevy, and you type in Chevy Malibu and you get in. Well, that password hint is stored in what they call in the clear. whatever server that it's on, it's not encrypted. Your password is encrypted. But that password hint is in plain text. Anybody that sees that server can read your password hint. So if you have your password in there, anybody that sees that server can see your password. The other thing that you don't want to do is something that, well, maybe your password is Chevy Malibu, and you make your password hint. Okay, I'm not going to put that in there. I'm going to make it the kind of car I drive. Well, I know you, and I know what kind of car you drive, and if I try to log in as you, and it comes up and says the kind of car I drive, well, I know she drives a Chevy Malibu, so I'll try that, and I get in. You need to make it difficult for people to figure out. You don't want to use your birth date. If you're on Facebook, Facebook tells everybody, hey, today's my birthday. So, okay, I got her birth date then. So, passwords, you have to be pretty clever with passwords. And I'll give you one hint for generating secure passwords. Use different passwords on every site that you go to. And people say, that's crazy. I can't do that. There's no way. Well, if you start writing them down, you're going to have a list. I forget how many hundreds of passwords I've got. But I use LastPass, and it keeps track of all of them for me. Never use your banking password on any other site, even on another banking site. If you've got Wells Fargo and Citizens Bank, don't use the same password. If Citizens Bank gets hacked, and somebody gets your password for that, and they find out, oh, he's got a Wells Fargo account too, well, let me try that same password, and it works. Hey, more money. So don't use the same password on various sites, especially your banking passwords. Use secure passwords, upper and lower case, letters, numbers, special characters. Now, that is pretty crazy looking, but if you create a phrase, like that is, this, today is the first day of the rest of your life. So it's the first letter of each word, along with a couple of extra characters stuck in there, and some upper and lower case. Okay, you have to remember the upper and lower case, and where the special characters go, but that's not that difficult. If you emphasize it in your mind, today is the first day, pause, okay, stick in a special of the, pause, and I can put another character, rest of your life. Okay, so if you get that set in your mind, how you emphasize the characters that are uppercase, you can create a password with a phrase like that. And that's not a dictionary word, it's not anything that anybody's going to think of. So, and that's it, don't use dictionary words. That's one of the first things hackers do. They have dictionaries on their computers that if they're trying to hack into an account, they'll just run a dictionary against it and try all the dictionary words. So, don't use anything that's in the dictionary. Now, this is called leet speak. Those aren't good passwords either, because hackers are the ones that created that, and they know that kind of stuff is in their dictionaries and in their hacking stuff as well. 1337 is a substitution. It's like L-E-E-T. That's what I call it, leet speak, or elite. And it would come out something like this. The word password would be P @ instead of the A, SS would be $, W0RD. I have seen people that use that. It's not a good idea. It's easily hacked. Now here's Adobe was hacked, and they got my password for Adobe. Me along with 153 million other people. There's a website. Have I been owned? That's a P. Again, that's part of that leet speak stuff. Have I been owned.com. You can go to there and you put in your I thought I blocked that out. Oh, well. Didn't do a good job. You put in your email address, and it will tell you if your email address has been associated with an account that's been hacked. This shows there's 6 websites that are hacked, how many accounts are on those 6 websites. And there's Stratfor accounts, Gawker accounts, Yahoo accounts, 453,000 Yahoo accounts, Pixel Federation, and Sony accounts. So all those websites have been hacked, and those user IDs and passwords are out. So it's advisable that if you have anything on those, change your passwords. Okay, here's more about LastPass.com. It remembers your passwords for you and which website they go to. So you just go to the website, and when the login comes up, if you're logged into LastPass, it'll automatically drop in your user ID and your password, and you either have to click on login or it'll automatically do that for you, depending on how you got it set. Very convenient. It really helps a lot. You don't have to remember the passwords, and you can have LastPass generate very secure passwords for you for those sites. Passwords can be categorized. If you have to look at the list of hundreds of passwords, you can have them in banking and financial. You can have them in different categories, so that you can find things easier, or even as a search where you start typing in part of the website name, and it'll show you those passwords. Autofills and passwords. You have to remember one very secure password, like today's the first day of the rest of your life type thing that gets you logged into LastPass. Then you have access to all of your passwords. Your passwords are stored encrypted in the cloud. I've been using it for 2 years, and in the beginning I didn't have my banking passwords in there, and now I do. And so far I'm good. But I'm a believer in LastPass. I think it works very well. It generates one-time use passwords. If you're going to be traveling, this is very nice. You may be using networks that you're not familiar with. You may be using computers that you're not familiar with. You can go into a strange browser and go to the LastPass.com website and log in, and you can have access to all of your passwords there. But before you leave home, you can generate a list of, say, 10 one-time use passwords. So when you sit down at that computer, you have a printed list, or have it on whatever form on your phone or whatever, that, okay, you take the first one and you log in to LastPass with that. That lets you get into LastPass. Now, as soon as you're logged in, that password will not work again. So cross them off your list. If somebody sitting nearby intercepted that somehow, and they shouldn't be able to, but if they were able to, or somebody's looking over your shoulder even, they could try and use that password, it won't work. It's already been used. So the next time you sit down, you have to use the next one on the list, and the next one, and the next one. So LastPass will do that. It can automatically fill in forms. It stores your information. You can have your name, address, city, state, zip, phone number, birth date. You could put in your social security number, I don't. You can put in credit card information. You can put all kinds of things, so that when you get to a web page that wants all that name and address information, you can just right click and then LastPass fill in form. Boom, it populates all those fields for you. It's very convenient. Again, you've got all your information stored out there in the cloud. It's very annoying. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with it. So, and you can have multiple profiles. Like I have a couple different ones if I want to fill it in as Ken Serwinski or Kenneth Serwinski, or if I want to have the phone number available or not available. So I can choose between different profiles whenever I'm filling in a form to say, I want it to be Ken Serwinski for this one. So you just click on that one and boom, it populates it, Ken Serwinski, and whatever other information I filled in that particular profile. You can create secure notes. and you can store credit card information. Secure notes, you can record things like, if you have a safe, you can record your safe combination. You can record other secure information that you don't want to leave written down in a desk drawer or something. You can make a secure note entry in there and enter that information. You can store your credit card information so that when somebody asks for your credit card, they can automatically fill that in for you. I don't use that. I do have a PayPal account that I use for buying things online, and that has worked very well. I've been using it for many years. If you're not familiar with PayPal, you give PayPal, very reputable, they've been around for a long time, you give them your credit card information, and when you buy something, as long as they accept PayPal, you just you click on Pay with PayPal, and it links to PayPal, you log into PayPal and say, yes, I approve this payment. PayPal sends the money to the person that you're buying that from. I buy things on eBay, I buy things all over the place with that. Nobody ever sees my credit card information. They get money from PayPal. PayPal charges my credit card. If you're not using it, look into it. It's very handy. You can attach documents to secure notes. When you make that secure note, if you have something you want to scan and attach it to there, or have a Word document or something that you have something lengthy that you've written up, you can attach that to a secure note, and that will become secure as well. Multi-factor authentication. You can make this even more secure by somebody can't log in unless you've got, my thumb drive is over there. If you've got a flash drive, you put a file on there and you say, okay, you can't log in, even though you have the password, you can't log in unless you've got this flash drive plugged in and it's got this file on it. So not just any flash drive, but it's got to have that particular file on it in order to be able to log in. Now that means anytime you want to log in, you got to have that flash drive. It's a little less convenient, but it's more secure. Now, LastPass, using it on your desktop, it's free. I haven't paid them a dime in years. Now if you want to use it on your tablet or on your phone, it's $1 a month, which is very reasonable. So, LastPass, excellent program to use. And here's just, when you log in, you give it your email address and the master password, and you can tell it to remember your email address so you don't have to type that in every time. And then you just have to put in your master password to get in. You can have it show your vault after you log in, which is a list of all of your passwords. Normally you don't need to see that, you just want to log in so you can use them. You can have it bring up an on-screen keyboard. If you're on a computer that you're not sure, some computers in little mom and pop hotels or even big hotels could have little dongles in the back that's in line with the keyboard or software that's capturing your every keystroke. So when you type in your password, it can capture that password. Bring up the on-screen keyboard, and I have a screenshot of that later on. It brings up a keyboard on the bottom of the screen, and with your mouse you move around and click, 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 and you type in your password that way. So you're not actually typing it in through the keyboard. Now, it's possible that can be compromised too, but it's another step towards better security. Now, LastPass, you can have it generate secure passwords, and you can tell it how long you want the password to be. That's going to be 12 characters. A to Z, all the capital letters, lowercase letters, numbers. You can have it do special characters. Not all sites will take special characters in the password. So you can pick and choose what you want to be in the password. And then digit count. I haven't played with that, I don't know. Require every character type. And then this is the password that's generated. If you don't like that one, you click on generate again, it'll give you a different one. And when you got something you like, you say copy, and then it'll copy it. The clipboard, you can paste it into whatever website you're generating it for. And then LastPass will automatically, it'll give you a thing up across the top and say, do you want LastPass to remember this for you? And you can say yes. And then LastPass will associate that password with the website that you're at. And next time you go there, it'll just automatically fill it in for you. Here's where you can put in your personal information. You can give it a profile name. You know, like I can call one Ken, call one Kenneth, and then first name would be Ken or Kenneth, and then you want to put in your middle name, last name. Fill in as much or as little information as you want. It'll remember that. So when you go to our website, you tell it to fill in the form. Whatever you put in there, it'll fill in for you. You can also have it require a password reprompt. Anytime you change anything, it would come up and ask you, okay, what's your master password? So again, somebody can't just sit down and change all that stuff on you if you're logged in already. They would have to put in the master password and get that checked on. Now here's an on-screen keyboard. That's something that's built into Windows. You can go to, I got it up there. Use on-screen keyboard for typing passwords. You can find it under Windows XP, 7, Vista, Start, All Programs, Accessories, and then Ease of Access. Windows 8 is different. If you do Windows 8, you go up and just bring up in the corner, and the slider comes out, and go down to Search, and then just type in on-screen keyboard, and then just you click on that, and it'll bring up the on-screen keyboard. Now with your mouse, you just click, 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 whatever your password is, and either hit enter or click enter, and it will accept your whatever you typed in. This is not an appropriate site for that, but you could sign in there with and then use that. KeePass, another program that I was using before LastPass. Again, that's the one that's one of them that's locally stored. Very good. It has a master password like the other. But your stuff is all stored locally. It's still encrypted on your computer or on your flash drive or wherever you tell it to put it. When this passwords can be categorized, so you can store them in banking. I have a screenshot here that just general passwords, Windows passwords, network passwords. You can store one that nobody ever remembers, and that's the password to your router. To get into the router, you change the settings in there. You can store that in here, or LastPass as well. And the internet passwords, email, home banking. So you can put them in different groups so that if you're trying to find the password, you can look at internet and then look through those. It's a nice program, and you can have multiple databases. It was handy, but if you start on a flash drive, you have to make sure you have that flash drive with you, or you don't have any of your passwords. And then you what's that password? I don't know. I have to go find my flash drive. And if you lost the flash drive, it still has a master password though, so somebody would have to know that to get into all of your other passwords. It can also generate passwords. Again, uppercase, lowercase, your digits, minus character, underline character, spaces. This has a few more options, brackets. Again, the length of the password, 30 characters, or you can just set it to whatever you want. Also include the following characters. Not sure what else there is, but anyway, it'll generate a password, and you can copy that and paste it into whatever you're doing. And I didn't even look at the advanced preview. Okay, how many people here are still using Windows XP? Not too many. That's probably good. Windows XP is, if you don't know yet, April 8th is the pretty much drop dead date for when. It's not going to stop working, but Microsoft is not going to be supporting it anymore. So you should think about being more careful with Windows XP. On XP, Internet Explorer version 8 is the last version of the browser that will run on Windows XP. Microsoft has come out with Internet Explorer 9, 10, and 11. They've made security fixes, enhancements in subsequent versions. You're pretty much left behind if you're still using Internet Explorer, i.e. on XP. You're going to get to the point where if you haven't already, there's websites that aren't even going to work with version 8 of Windows Internet Explorer. So you should use Firefox, Chrome. There's a couple other browsers. I haven't read anything about Safari in quite some time, but you know, Safari was probably one of the worst ones as far as security goes. So most people tend to stay with Firefox or Chrome. Now those are being updated all the time. With Windows XP, you can still get the latest version of the browser with all the enhancements and security fixes. And again, if you're running Windows XP, keep your antivirus updated. I'm not sure yet what's going to happen if Microsoft is still going to make updates available to the Microsoft Security Essentials on Windows XP. No? Thank you, Marilyn. So there's a very good reason for getting rid of Microsoft Security Essentials if you're running Windows XP. Microsoft Security Essentials is not one of the best ones anyway, but so some of the other ones, there's other free ones out there, but again, if you got Comcast or AT&T, you can get it free from them, Norton or McAfee. Or there's other ones, Bitdefender, AVG, Avira, Antivira. There's a lot of other ones that are free that you can use that are even better than Microsoft Security Essentials. So you've got some challenges ahead of you if you're going to continue to run Windows XP. It's a good operating system. I've got computers that run it, and it still runs great. You may want to consider something new and eliminate some of the headaches you may run into, but you do need to think about updating a lot of your other software. And always remember, backup, backup, backup. And even if you do that, because of the crypto locker, back up to an external hard drive, keep it offline until you're going to back up again. And test your backup before you need it. A backup does you no good if you can't use it. So if you back up your files, try and restore a file just to see that you can do that and you know how to do that, so that if you do run into a situation where you need to put files back, you can. And with that, I think I am finished.
Gonna answer any questions?
Then I guess.
Got a question?
There's a lot more I could have covered, but then there's a limitation on time.
And the question I have deals with getting your updates. I've been very wary of it. But what I would like maybe for the computer group to do is provide us with the URL that we can key that in so we are at the correct site. You mentioned one, adobe.com. For all these other things, so we know we're going to the right place to get the right update and not some of this other fog. Can a list like that be compiled?
It can, and we've talked about something like that in the computer lab, about even making, downloading it ourselves and having it on the computers in the lab. I'm not really in favor of that, because then if you're at home and you want to update something, you've got to, I can't do that until the lab is open. I can come in and get that. Having the link would be better, assuming that the links don't change and it would work for everybody. But that's probably a better way of handling it, linking directly to that site. Because yeah, I've seen where people have they'll go into Google and they'll search for Adobe Reader, and Adobe.com is not the first one that comes up. There's 4 or 5 others that come up first. And if you go to one of those, you're going to get other adware, malware, garbage that you don't need. Toolbars. You see people come in here and they have half the screen as toolbars. Do you use these? No, I have no idea where those came from. I know how they got there, you just didn't pay attention. So when you're installing, always pay attention, because you end up with getting toolbars too. So I guess the microphone's over here.
I have a question over here. If you do online shopping, and as an online shopping, you log in as a guest, are there any better protections than having, the storage where it has, know you're a frequent shopper in there. I always log in as a guest. Am I getting any extra protection as logging on as a guest? Because I have to put in all my information newly, all my credit card, my name, everything, every time I do it.
It would depend on the website that you're going to, but I would guess that once you enter it in there, they've got it. You know,
So I'm not really getting any extra protection by logging in as a guest. It's false on my part, right?
and again, it depends on the website, but many of them, even if you come back as a guest, they will remember something about you. They maybe stored in a cookie on your computer, maybe stored at their end.
So
But
you recommend that online locker one, whatever it was called, you recommend using that to,
LastPass.
to fill in all that information?
that's, like I said, I've been using it for a couple of years.
But I would use it under those circumstances.
Well, now, you can do the same thing with, PayPal has all of your information,
Mhm.
and as long as you use that PayPal account, it can fill in your address and everything,
So using a PayPal account to say something by Coldwater Creek would be a reputable online dealer. Making my payment through PayPal is better than making it through my credit card that I'm holding in my hand.
yes,
Okay, thank you.
because the more places you spread your credit card number around, the more vulnerable you are. Look at what happened with Target. People were compromising and just used it at Target.
Whoa, Ken, yeah, but the online Target wasn't compromised.
I didn't say that, but Target
No,
was
but make sure
compromised.
everybody understands that, because the online Target was not compromised,
It's just a strip,
huh?
strip, the credit card strip.
Right, just the strip, yeah.
Okay, next question.
Ken, is it correct that the LastPass operation is run by the students at Moscow University as a long-term project? Or, putting it more directly, who are the people behind LastPass, and what is their long-term plans?
I have not investigated that, although the security podcast that I listen to, Leo Laporte and his name is escaping me now, the guy who wrote some software that we use in the lab. But the name that I can't think of, he investigates a lot of the security things, and he usually goes for things that you can, are open source, that you can actually look at the code. On this one, I don't know that you can look at the code on it, it's not open
If
source.
I were gonna run a long-term scam, this would be ideal to be able to make money, 1 week or sometime in the future would be incredible.
Yeah, or you could open a store and start taking credit cards and you know, I mean, there's a lot of ways you could scam people. But,
New project for the club, right?
yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure who is behind. I haven't investigated LastPass, but it was just Leo Laporte and oh jeez, it's like getting old. I can't think of his name, but the guy is excellent as far as really investigating security issues. If you ever listen to Security Now, you'll learn an appreciation for this guy that I can't think of his name. Anyway, next.
Last question here.
Yeah.
I had a couple of quick questions about LastPass. What if you have a website where you have more than one account, more than one user ID? Can you still use LastPass? Does it recognize the website?
Yes.
So
It can come up and you can click in there and it will come up with a drop down. You can select between the different user IDs. And when you click on that one, it'll drop in the right password for that user ID.
we can't handle it.
Yeah.
What if you forget the LastPass password?
You're pretty sure you're in trouble. I don't know. I've never done that. There is something there that says forgot your password. I've never tried it.
Ah,
But I'm sure there's a way that they will communicate with you via email, and you probably have to have a valid email address there that they can communicate to you with.
Okay, thank you very much, Ken. It's a very good presentation.
Okay.
I want to thank everybody for coming. coming today, and look forward to seeing you all next month. One of the things that I mentioned too, on that Northern Security package, there is a password vault on that. It comes with the Comcast package, and it works very well. So, have a great day.